Golden State Warriors looking to make it 25-0 to start the season. But could the Bucks pull off a miracle? Well, when you're playing against that man, not going to be easy. Curry driving, scooping off the glass, gets it to fall. The Bucks just up one. But in the fourth, Greg Monroe spinning, driving to the hoop for the layup and the foul. That puts the Bucks up 12. And the 10 and 15 Bucks knock off the perfect Golden State Warriors 108-95. They now fall to 24-1 on the year and have their 28-game win streak snapped. It actually happened. The Warriors do, in fact, prove they are human. But still, what a run to start the season at 24-0. You can't hate on that. And with that, I say good morning. I'm Luke Lyddon with your look at sports. It's a tradition of excellence. The Heisman Trophy is an award that not only highlights the most outstanding player in college football, but a moment to showcase that hard work and diligence are never overlooked. And for this year's Heisman winner, I honestly couldn't even tell you who deserves to win. Henry, McCaffrey, or Watson?
The winner of this year's Heisman Trophy is Derrick Henry.
It is now official. Alabama running back Derrick Henry awarded the 2015 Heisman Trophy. He had 1,832 points in the voting, while Stanford's Christian McCaffrey finished second with 1,539. Henry rushed for just less than 2,000 yards and scored 23 touchdowns this season alone. Henry is the 14th winner of the Heisman from the SEC. Congratulations. The Texas Longhorns basketball squad was not expected to make a ton of noise this season. Although they did acquire head coach Shaka Smart from VCU, you still wondered how UT would fare. Well, apparently better than most expected. The Longhorns hosting the third best team in the nation, the North Carolina Tar Heels. But the looming question, could Texas pull off the upset? Early on, it didn't look like it as Marcus Page drains the deep three for the early 5-point lead. But then Javon Felix responds, tacks on another three from deep to put the pressure on. So we jump ahead with 30 seconds left in the game. Taylor driving, misses the floater, gets his own board. He's not going to miss that one. Texas takes the 2-point lead. So after a UNC timeout, great ball movement, and it's Bryce Johnson who gets it to fall in the paint. So here we go. 7 seconds left. Taylor coming up the court, looking for something to happen. The pull-up three. It's no good, but Javon Felix right there at the right place, the right time. He gets it to fall, but would it be good? Upon further review, the shot would stand, and Texas upsets the third-ranked Tar Heels 84-82. Let the Shaka Smart era begin. And on now to some college football. 21st-ranked Navy taking on Army at Lincoln Financial Field. Could Army finally snap their 13-game losing streak against Navy? Well, this might answer it. So far, so good, as Army's Tyler Campbell runs for 29 yards, sheds a few tackles, Army up 3. But in the second, on 3rd and goal at the Army 1, I mean, you know what's coming. Navy's Keenan Reynolds runs it in from a yard out. That would actually be his 85th career rushing score. Navy on top by 4. So 2 minutes left in the game. Army trying to come back down 4. On the trick play, DeAndre Bell heaves it into triple coverage. Normally when you do that, you know what's going to happen. That's an interception. That play would seal the game. Navy wins the Commander-in-Chief's trophy by a close score of 21-17, and that now makes it 14 straight losses for the Cadets. Jumping now to the hardwood. Yesterday marked the last day of the McDonald's Classic over at Eastwood High. Unfortunately, we did not have any El Paso teams in the finals, but we still had a great championship game. Diamond Ranch out of Pomona, California, taking on Balboa City out of San Diego. And early in the first, Jose Serrano with the great cut gets the layup to fall and one. Balboa City now up 5. But Diamond Ranch, they're not phased. As Ryan Haywood buries the corner 3, that would cut the gap to 1. But Balboa City, they wanted this one. Case in point, Scott Hitchin throwing it down with authority, and they retake the 5-point lead. And then we just had really 2 really tall centers going at it. They're both 7 feet to be exact. And Kaba Kamara with a beautiful drop step, another 2-handed slam, and Balboa City is the team that goes on to win the tournament with a final score of 66-57. Congratulations. The Utah Miners are on the verge of letting a great season turn into a mediocre one, but they aren't going to let that happen. After starting a perfect 6-0, they've now dropped 2 straight. But now it's back to the drawing board for Tim Floyd and his squad. But don't let a little 2-game skid fool you. The team is ready for 5-2 Washington State later today.
Try to get some individuals better with just different areas of their game in terms of the self-improvement. And it's been a good week for us.
Yeah, I just think we're kind of regrouping. We had a couple losses after our 5-0 start. And, I really like our guys, how we came to work this week. We've gotten a lot better, I think, and you're going to see a lot of that in the next few games.
And we, of course, will have highlights of that game later tonight at 5 and 10 p.m. And for the Aggies, they also play later today at home against 5-4 Wyoming at 7 p.m. NMSU was 5-3 in the year, and we, of course, will have highlights of that game later tonight at 10 p.m. On now to the Premier Boxing Champions, undefeated Omar Figueroa Jr. jumping in the ring with Antonio DeMarco. We have Figueroa Jr. in the black and silver trunks and DeMarco in the black and blue. And it was Figueroa Jr. on the attack from the first bell, but then in the 5th round, things changed. Both men letting the fists fly as DeMarco attacking the body and then landing 2 big shots upstairs right there and there. That does not look like it feels good. But then in the 7th round, DeMarco trying to keep his hopes alive as he was being outboxed the entire match. And it's Figueroa Jr. keeping his record perfect at 27-0-1 as he wins by unanimous decision. And on now to some more football. 4-time defending FCS champions North Dakota State taking on Northern Iowa in the quarterfinals. And then in the beginning of the 3rd quarter, this happened. Bruce Anderson disappears, stays on his feet, stays in bounds, runs 96 yards into the end zone. They take the 14-10 lead, but let's look at that one more time. How does this even happen? Follows his blocks, almost falls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys trying to tackle him. It doesn't matter because North Dakota State goes on to win 23-13, and that play just tells it all. And now on finally to some men's basketball. ASU taking on 4th-ranked Kentucky, who has won all 3 meetings in this series. And ASU, they made it a game, but only for so long. After a missed shot, then a turnover. Well, you can't do that because if you do, then this happens. Marcus Lee with the transition dunk, a vicious one at that. They go up 5, and then the second half, Kentucky with the block on one end, then the beautiful ball movement and the layup on the other end. Kentucky, they roll ASU as they go on to win 72-58. And that is a look at sports. We will be right back after this break. Stay with us.